Today I fucked up by letting homeless friend move in. This is an update from my post last week. Just wanted to say thank you for all of the support. You guys helped me more than you know. Things have been pretty difficult still. I only ate one time in the past 3 days and have been sleeping in the woods, and it's been getting cold. But I do have better news. So I am able to get my job back once I complete my mock class on the 30th. I should be able to get a new laptop with the 800 when it hits my bank account. I will be able to get some food also. I can't thank you guys enough. As for my ex-friend, still have not heard from him and no update from the police. Hoping to hear something back in the coming days. A lot of people have asked me to post a Cash App on the thread. It is $CLE232. If it is not right to post, I will take it down. Edit. Just wanted to add my company didn't fire me for losing the laptop. I worked for VIP Kid, so you are an independent contractor. You supply your own laptop. So without it I wasn't able to complete my schedule. Just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people been asking. Original post below. So this happened over the last few months. About 4 months ago a friend of mine from years ago ran into each other. It was cool, caught up on things and talked about old times. Anyway, turns out he was homeless and couch surfing and sleeping in the woods. I have been going through hard times myself. Been living in a shitty hotel since COVID, paycheck to paycheck etc. Anyway, one night we go out to eat. I end up saying you can crash with me at the hotel for the night if you want because it was pouring out and I felt bad. He does, and over the next few days I tell him if he looks for a job he can keep staying. I was making sure he was eating right, no drugs or alcohol etc., although I don't even think he was an addict, so don't think that's the reason he was in a bad situation. Everything was going really well. He even got a job at a warehouse down the street. He was happy, I was happy for him, and it was nice having the company. Anyway, fast forward a week after he got the job, I wake up one morning on my day off. And he isn't here. No big deal, he goes to get breakfast down the street sometimes. A couple hours later he is still gone. I text him and nothing back. I look in his drawer and his stuff is gone. That's when I get a little worried. Turns out he found out I had about $5 grand in a little safe under my mattress. It was gone and so was he. I didn't even realize it for the first couple hours, but he also took my laptop that I use for work. I work for an online ESL company. I know I should not have had that much cash lying around, but I was clearing out my old account because my ex might still have had access to it. Since this incident I have not heard from him and reported it to the police, but there isn't much they can do unless he runs into them. I lost my job because of this and was left with basically no money. I had to sell my car for a couple grand just to pay my rent. That ran out and now I have been homeless the last 3 weeks. I lost about 30 pounds, have no family or anyone close. My parents died when I was a child. Trying to be a good person has really fucked up my life. I don't know where to go from here. I have nobody to talk to, so just wanted to share that. Too long, did not read. Let an old friend who was homeless stay with me for a while and he stole my money and now I am homeless. It's ironic. Note to anyone who fears homelessness. Do not sell your car no matter how much you're struggling. Unless it's some high-end Jeep you can trade for a cheaper car plus 10 kelvins in cash. In the short term, sleeping in your car is 1000x better than sleeping on the street etc. In the long term. How can you get a job with no transport? Living in your car isn't as bad as it seems. Living on the streets or in the woods however is. Oh fuck. I just read the original post for the first time and I am speechless. What a fucking asshole. Glad that things are getting better for you, but still it's a shame that he hasn't got caught yet. You seem like a good dude with much strength to talk about that on here. Is there any way I could help? Just the best wishes for you. You got this. Post proof like a photo of the police report, just block out personal information. This would help your GoFundMe. Many people would be glad to donate but for obvious reasons wouldn't believe this. Before I go reading the comments. You said police. Are you UK? I have a floor with mattress with your name on it if you need. Tidy home, generally clean, 5 cats though. Look for a mutual aid society in your area. They can help with food at the very least. Our local one has food cabinets to go to that neighbor's stock. And check out Catholic Charities. They may have a loaves and fishes for food as well. I think posting this story alone on GoFundMe page should get you attention and some money. It's pretty heartbreaking. I wish you all the best and I hope you receive some good karma for helping out that asshole of a friend one day. Life is a big circle, so eventually some good things will come to you. Hey op, not to be rude or anything. But can you provide proof of some sort? People have been donating to you, and it's the least you could do. You said you lost about 30 pounds the last 3 weeks. Can you provide maybe an old selfie and a current selfie with you holding your username on a piece of paper? Just to clear out any fishiness. Man, I wish you could fast forward karma, what a prick. Today I fucked up by being a single father. I've been working 70+ hour weeks recently, so my daughter has been hanging out with grandma quite a bit, and going to the park. It's about 5 or 10 minutes on foot, so it's pretty close, and it's a great place to meet other kids and families, so my mother suggested I take her on my day off. I was really excited and I got her all ready. She's 4 at the moment I'm writing this. So we take our little walk and we arrive at the park, where she's visibly already excited to see kids she's seen before, and so she starts running off without me. I obviously don't want her too far out of reach, so I jog behind her a little to pick up my pace while I laugh and tell her to slow down some. As we approach the playground, all the women there give me weird looks, and I was confused as to why. My daughter goes off to play and I sit at one of the benches to watch her find all her little friends and start having some fun. At this point I realize every parent is on the opposite side of the playground for some reason, and that they've guided their kids toward that side as well, drawing my daughter slowly out of sight. So I stand and readjust to go see her better, which puts me near some moms. They slowly shy away and I notice my daughter slowly wave her hand over her tummy and look at me, the little sign she learned for bathroom. She learned it that way because she was really embarrassed to say she needed the bathroom in public. So I walk over and let her jump off the playground and we walk toward the bathrooms, me holding her hand as she waddles next to me. I chance to look back the real fuck up, to see all the moms staring, laser focus, on me. So I walk into the bathroom, nothing wrong with some weird looks. I take her into the men's, as it was empty. I wipe off her seat and we finish up in the bathroom. Then as soon as I walk out there's 2 moms waiting. They warn me that the cops have my license plate and my likeness, and they tell me that I should wait where I am. So I kind of laugh it off, bigger fuck up, and they are livid. I didn't actually think they were serious, until about 8 minutes later I see the sheriff mobile pulling into the park. So I groan and wait. I had to not only call my mom to come tell them I was her father, but they escorted me home with her and asked for a birth certificate. What a day off. And of course, 0 apologies were made for ruining our day at the park. I took my daughter to a park where everyone knew her but not me, so they thought I was a predator. Time to go back to the park and assert your dad status. Wave to those moms, hi. Remember me? I'm the dad you called the police on. How ya doing? We going after anyone else today? She is 4. The Karens could have asked her who that man was. That's all types of wrong. They should have just asked you. You didn't fuck up, they did. This is appalling and I can't even believe this happened. Your daughter should have been able to clear this up that you're her father, if she speaks. I would never assume that a man with a child isn't a father and daughter. They've been watching too much TV or been in too many stupid Facebook groups. I'm sorry this happened to you, and even more sorry that the cops actually came out for this. Fathers should be able to spend time with their children without being harassed. Totally ridiculous. Damn Karens at it again. Call the police on them and make them provide proof that they are the mother. I would, but I am also an asshole. You ran into a group of Karens in the wild, also known as a homeowners association. They're a comedian that take about the different responses men and women have when coining upon a crying child in public. Women will console the child and try to find its mother. Men back away and stay as far away as possible so that people won't get the wrong idea. Today I fucked up by exposing my parents' inside joke about Bob to Bob. I come from a gaming family. My dad, my mom, my brother, and myself are all very into video games and have been forever. My parents boast that they bought a first-gen Atari and have been avid gamers ever since. While I was growing up, my parents had this little way of teasing us. Let's say you're doing poorly in a game and you're whining and pushing the blame off like, "Ah, man, something's wrong with my controller." I swear. My parents would giggle at each other and say, "Oh, so you've got a Bob controller?" I can't properly convey how many times I heard joke this growing up. It was a snap response from both of them every single time we complained about our controller. Something's wrong with the A button? Bob controller. It's not your fault, the joystick was stuck? Bob controller. One day, I made one of my parents explain the joke. Before any of us kids were born, my mom and dad played video games with one of their couple friends, Bob and Jane. Anytime Bob would do poorly, he'd blame the controller. They thought it was hilarious. In my brain, this was all a big open joke in their friend group. Haha, oh, Bob, you're always blaming the controller, you rascal. Not so. So, fast forward to present day and I'm helping my dad with a carpentry project outside. A car pulls up that I don't recognize. A couple gets out, lo and behold, it's Bob and Jane. Surprise. Back in town after 30 years to pay a visit. So my mom and dad are chatting with them about old times, and I'm hanging around listening. I'm only 24, so this is the first time I've ever met Bob and Jane. Eventually, the conversation shifts to video games. Oh yeah, I say, I've heard all about the Bob controller. My mother's face goes pale. Oh, the what? Bob says. For some reason, my brain short-circuits and I start fumbling through sentences trying to further explain my parents' joke and how they used to tease us about our Bob controllers. The whole time, my mother's eyes keep widening. I keep hoping a vaudeville hook will appear and yank me off of this horrible stage I've put myself on. My mom's expression is flaming. She is standing behind Bob and actively shaking her head like, please, for the love of everything, stop talking. At this point, my dad has abandoned ship and is poking at his finished carpentry project like maybe he can find something else to sand to get him out of this situation. I eventually contain my word vomit and Bob and Jane look at Mom for an explanation. To her credit, she fully owned up to the joke and explained it. They all uncomfortably laugh and move on with the conversation while I shrink back into the house. To spare my life, I dodge my mother the next day and fly down the highway back to my college town without bringing it up. Anyway, always clarify to your kids what's an inside joke between you as a couple. They just might meet Bob one day. Too long did not read. My parents used to make jokes that any broken controller was a Bob controller. I brought it up in front of Bob. Bob didn't know. Honestly, it'd be pretty silly if Bob was actually salty about that. No harm, no foul. Uncomfortable. But far better than I was expecting, as I read the title to mean the inside joke was, Bob to Bob. I was 100% sure it was going to be sexual. I was expecting, oh, ha ha ha, Bob doesn't actually play video games. He's unemployed. We just call it a Bob controller because it doesn't work. Wait, no one accidentally sucked the wrong dick and then everyone laughed? This is TIFU, dude. And #X200B. Edit. JK, thanks for not writing fiction porn. We did that one time too. Out friend, Steve, would just get up and leave a party not saying goodbye. It became known as pulling a Steve. Fast forward a year or two. At a massive college party a few hours away from home. Steve came along too. About 100 people at the party. Someone asks, where did Jared go? The answer was, I bet he pulled a Steve. Steve was sitting there and said, he what? And everyone was like, aw shit. We all laughed at it though. Praise, Bob. I come from a gaming family. Say no more. Take my uptokes, you magnificent bastard. My first thought was Bob equals battery-operated boyfriend.